Good afternoon, CPhI. This is Flow Science's last presentation of today before we wrap everything up. We are doing our new product announcements over in booth 1725, and for those of you live streaming from home and from work, we're going to go through our new 3 products that we're launching for 2021. So right next to me is our Nitrogenema 2. This is our new low RH, low oxygen unit. So if you're looking for atmospheric changes for your product, as well as some employee protection, this is the unit for you. This is our 2nd generation of the Nitrogenema. So why is this one different and why is this important for you? So this one is made out of polypropylene construction, which is allowing us to make it more flexible for your lab space and your work environment. The polypropylene is going to allow you to add transfer ports, waste ports, do linkages between units, whether they be Flow Sciences or another piece of equipment you may already have on site or you're looking to acquire. That construction is going to allow you to do some customization both externally as well as internally. We have a rear customizable port plate that you can modify the ports that are in there. In addition to that, it's allowing us to do this large front lift door. So I actually used to be a Flow Science customer, and we had the 1st generation of the Nitrogenema, and we did a customization on it to allow us to add this large front lift door. And why might this be important to your operation? If you're going to be putting large pieces of equipment into your unit and you're going to need access to those, maybe you need to move them from time to time, you're going to switch out processes, that allows this equipment, again, that versatility to allow that ease of equipment movement. We're going to talk to you about your process and how you're moving your material into the transfer port. Right now, you can see we have a blank plate here on the right for your exit of material or transfer to another station, and all of those are going to be reversible. And I did say this is low RH, low oxygen, and this has a metering system on it. So any of you that are out there working with your inert gases, adjusting your percent concentration within your boxes, manually doing that obviously is time-consuming, a lot of room for operator error, as well as the cost of overuse of your gas. So our metering system allows you to have a set point. It's going to purge the box, the positive pressure box, and it's going to maintain that set point by making those adjustments to make sure you have that consistency and reproducibility in your testing and your results. So we have a polypropylene, positive pressure, low RH, low oxygen box here. Options for customization, comes in a variety of sizes. And then we can put it on either a workbench that you already have in the lab, or one of our tables. This one is one of our adjustable lift tables, so thinking about ergonomics and the ease of use for your employees, as well as our standard tables, which can either have a locking wheel or a stationary foot. The next unit we're going to talk about today that we're releasing is our analytical process isolator. So we don't actually have that in the booth this afternoon, but you can check that out on our website if you're at home right now or at work. And you're live streaming us. Thank you for joining us. Definitely look at that on our website. And that product came about from a customization from a client request for high potency APIs. So if you're working with high potency APIs and you need glove box containment as well as potentially ISO 5 cleanliness standards, you're going to have that option with the analytical process isolator. The extra feature is that we've attached that to our standard ventilated balance enclosure. So we took our standard glove box, merged it with our ventilated balance enclosure because of that polypropylene construction, added a pass-through lift door between the two. Why would you want that? You're going to potentially want that because there may be some risk from your industrial hygiene team or your safety team about the concern about potential contamination on your transfer device for your product material once you're done with the process in the glove box. So if you're moving that material out of the glove box to the next step of the process, within the same laboratory space, perhaps in another part of your facility, you're moving that product into a storage area, you may have some concern, did we get that material clean enough in its closed system before removal from the glove box? So the analytical process isolator adds that extra step where you can move that closed, clean container into a negative pressure open face enclosure. You can then adjust your PPE. You're going to have better line of sight of visibility, better dexterity with a nitrile glove potentially, or a glove suitable for your cleaning process, and you're going to be able to do some further decontamination and cleaning protocols before you move that out of containment into your open space to prevent that potential exposure to your workers. Again, especially when we're working with OEB4 and OEB5 materials. So that's our analytical process isolator, again, in our standard product page on our website. So the last unit we're going to talk about today is actually our dry slater, and it's our star of the show. This is a product we've been working on for quite some time. Again, thinking about the current needs for atmospheric condition control in the laboratory, as well as containment. So this is a negative pressure system. So unlike the nitrogen M2, which we looked at earlier, which is a positive pressure, this is giving you negative pressure with the option to also do low humidity and low oxygen control. It is a glove box with ISO 5 cleanliness. So this, again, another piece of versatile equipment where if you need glove box containment and ISO 5 cleanliness, but you may occasionally or frequently need to have atmospheric controls as well, this is going to be multifunctional for you. But if you do have a glove breach, you're going to have that negative pressure. So as you're working with those high potency OEB4, OEB5 pharmaceutical products, you're going to have protection for your workers as well. This unit also polypropylene construction. You can see we have a transfer port here on my left, and then we have the continuous liner on the far side of the unit. And again, these are all customizable options. You can put a secondary transfer port. Perhaps you need to move into another glove box or another piece of equipment, so you're enclosing more steps of your process without having to remove it from containment to go to the next step. Our continuous liner, though, comes from working with our original equipment manufacturers, and this particular option is unique to Flow Science. This allows you to actually bag out your high-potency API waste into a system that seals that, again, reducing the potential for worker exposure during the disposal process. But not only do we have products that are unique to Flow Sciences, we also work with original equipment manufacturers to adapt their product transfer material devices with our equipment. So if you're looking at a tri-clover fitting, we have worked with our equipment to make sure that we can adapt all of those fittings to our equipment, maintain containment, so you're not looking for a new way to move your powder from one step to the next in the process. We're already working with those manufacturers in the industry to make sure we're adaptable to those products that are available to you. This unit does have a bag-in, bag-out double HEPA filtration. So we have two 4-inch HEPAs above the unit here on the left side. The primary filter is bag-in, bag-out. So if you're online, check out our website. You can see how that process works in addition to the process for the continuous liner. It allows you to remove that filter in a bag system while the unit is still running and you're maintaining normal operations in your laboratory. So you're not going to have any exposure to your worker while you're removing, sealing that filter off, and then replacing. The other thing we've thought about with these units, all of our units, is ergonomics. So we saw the ADA lift table on the nitrogen M2. This one is on a standard table, but we also are thinking about what else can we do to make this ergonomically friendly. If you're working in a glove box, you're going to be in there for a potentially longer period of time. The process is going to be slightly slowed down because you're working in glove ports. So we want to make sure that's comfortable. So we actually have expanded our glove port openings to a larger size so you have the ability with better mobility, more comfort while you're working. We do have options to adjust the glove material. We work with a lot of, again, vendors in the industry to make sure gloves that are going to work for your application, whether it's from a dexterity standpoint or your cleaning product material, making sure it's compatible. We have options for different gloves. And then also the process that you're going to do inside. So we have additional HEPAs in our lateral flow when you're using the oxygen controls and the moisture controls. And we want to make sure that when you even change out those, so or your maintenance team or your technical staff, that while they're doing that, that's ease of use as well. So I have a microphone in my hand, and I'm still going to be able to move these filters out. So we have two hooks on either side of our sealing plenum here that we can pull down, and we can pull those filters. So you can see there's your 3 HEPA filters for your lateral flow. They can be changed within the system. Did all that one-handed. Lock those plates back in place, and you put in your new filters. And if you saw the red and green light there, it shows that we opened the door, had some potential for containment loss, but the system's going to be running, and you're going to be able to bag those out while you're in the unit itself. So you're not going to remove those and then bag them. This particular unit, you bag these out to the continuous liner. So again, this is our dry slater, low oxygen, low humidity control, ability to do normal standard glove box work in an ISO 5 setting, but you're still having negative pressure, so you're able to work with those high potency APIs, give that worker protection as well as product protection, versatility and linkability. And then the last feature is our PLC programming panel. So this panel, it's not the first time we've done a PLC programming panel on a unit, but this is probably our most sophisticated one. So as you have the options to customize this unit, the panel will be customized to your needs. So we can customize your administrative controls. Who do you want to have access to do the safety interlock? So all of our doors are safety interlocked, cannot open more than one at a time. Who can make those changes? Who makes those set points? That all can be programmed into your PLC panel. We also have the ability to really allow you to give good GMP compliance with your data around your oxygen and humidity levels. So if you need to demonstrate that the unit was under a certain amount of % oxygen at a particular time, you're going to have that data in your PLC programming. So again, standard product with some customization because of your options. So we want you to come to us, stop by the booth before you leave today, check us out online, do our contact us form on our webpage. Let us know what your containment need is, because we're going to evaluate that. We're going to go through a discovery process, find out what your process looks like, what your containment need is, and then recommend a containment solution for you. And that can go one of two ways. We could be looking at a standard product. And again, I keep saying you can customize our standard products. So our products are designed that there's multiple options, whether it's a change in the size, if it's a change in a port, again, here, the programming for your PLC, your exhaust options, whether you're going to recirculate or hook to house exhaust, all part of our standard product series. So if we can identify one of those for you for your containment concern, we're going to recommend a standard product. If we can't, let's say you have localized containment, you're working with an oven, you need to add material just at the door. We can design containment solutions around just that part of the unit, whether we're mounting it to the front, or we have part of the unit completely enclosed, or we have to put the whole unit. Let's say you have a very large piece of equipment, perhaps it's a malroom, and you need a deeper unit than our standard series. We would then be able to customize the unit for you to make sure you have not only the ability to contain the whole unit, but to do your process around it. And then lastly, we can do large scale. So whether we're linking these together to encompass multiple steps of a process, or we're constructing a unit that's 11 feet tall. We actually had a project in 2020 where we contained an entire manufacturing process that actually led us to build a second certification lab in Leland, North Carolina, to do that testing effectively because the unit was 11 feet tall. So no matter what your containment need is, we would love to help you solve it. Please stop by the booth before you leave today if you're still at CPhI. If you're online joining us, again, get on our website, fill out the contact us form. Someone from Total Sciences will be more than happy to work with you, start to discover what you're looking for, and find a recommendation that's best for you. We look forward to working with you. Thanks for joining us today, and you have a great afternoon.